special room. We're going to hold you in. You look very pretty. Look at you, all sparkly. Come on.
Hi, Mrs. Bowker.
Hi.
It's
Good
to see you again. Hope you don't mind me filming you again.
So, remind me of your name.
Bert Berquist.
Mr. Berquist. Okay.
No, I'm not Mr. anymore. I'm too old.
What? Barney Berquist?
Oh, must be the class of 73. That was a song,
I know Ricky Nelson, right?
Mary Lou Goodbye Heart.
And Mary Lou got a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Sally Smith.
And
It's Sam Jones.
he's lying, isn't he? I can tell.
Stan and Peg Stoltz.
I mean, this is for drinking. You can drink all you want. Coke, Sprite, wine, beer, whatever. Somebody's got them here. So you get a free drink.
I don't need a free drink. This guy needs a free drink right there.
I think you need a bunch of free drinks, Mr. Mott.
Hey, Ron. Great to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Man, you're looking pretty sharp.
Well, thank you.
53-year-old gal.
Yeah.
You doing okay, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You still jogging?
I never jogged.
You did too.
I didn't.
Sharon father told me you jogged.
Well, yeah, maybe I did. I mean,
A little bit.
when I could run a mile, I was happy.
You're here for the class of 73 reunion, huh?
I am. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to still be anywhere. Glad to be around. This was my first class as a teacher, and they're a memorable group. And it's my first. They're my babies, my oldest, whatever you want to call it. James Richard Powers is technically my full name. I taught science and math, physics and algebra and some geometry and some freshman science, CP science it was called. I coached football for 28 of my 30 years at Okemos. I coached boys tennis all 30 years. And I coached girls volleyball for 10 years in the mid-70s to the mid-80s.
What's the best feeling you get from being here today?
The anticipation of seeing old friends and meeting new friends. And
Scott Purvis, taught biology and track coach for about 10 years.
My name is Larry Cockcroft. I taught math and coached baseball and football.
And what does it mean for you to be here at this reunion today?
I think we're all looking forward to seeing, the students again. And 50 years is a long time.
You going to remember a lot of them?
No. No.
Do you want to remember a lot of them?
We were saying we hope they have name tags because that's the only way we're going to survive, I think.
The interesting thing is they're going to all remember you guys, right?
We got stumped already on our way in the door.
I stumped you already, right? Already you didn't know who I was either. You were my old coach for football, and Mr. Purvis, you were my coach for track.
Track, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Anything else you want to add on this occasion of the 50th anniversary of the class of 73 and the 100th anniversary of Okemos High School?
That is amazing. And it's neat that we're here for that too, especially the 100th of, I should look here, the 100th anniversary for the school, but 50th for the class of 73.
I think it's very neat. I've been looking forward to it. See my old students, and they get to see an old man.
Are you going to make them go down and do 100 push-ups and then hit the tackling dummy? Come on, you got to give me one of those yells you used to get. You remember how you would get us to go into the drills? Get your sorry off the floor here and get going. You were a little more gentler in track. You never said, "I'll kick your blanket from here to Kingdom Come," did you?
No, but you had to run. That's the only way it works. Yeah.
So what was your most memorable time at Okemos High School? About 100 of them, right?
Yeah, a lot. Each memory's different, and there's no one big one. It's just the accumulation of all of them. So.
No, I agree. There's just so many events, and I don't know, some great events, and I just enjoy them all.
Oh man, I gotta give this.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
Maybe?
No, it was the cool guys.
Yeah.
Cross country, John Queerings.
Query.
Yeah, our end of the hall. That's right.
Yeah, that was the last I saw you.
Marquis, yeah.
Best coach I ever knew.
We got
Just you.
both sides of our end of the hall.
What about these guys too?
Yeah.
You coached after I stopped.
Is he here somewhere?
You coached with
Bob Port.
Bob Port. Yep. I remember that now. Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that when he was coaching with Bob Port, coaching track?
Yeah.
You don't remember that? He was a runner. No, he was a diver. Birmingham Seaholm High School.
Yeah.
Is that a good memory?
That's a good memory. Yeah, that's pretty good.
He was a diver.
Well, we all have to recite what we know yet.
What we know.
Yeah, he's telling all the things he knows.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you coached cheerleading for how many years? Her girls still come to see her.
Oh, nice. I bet it was 30 years.
That's Terry.
I don't have to have that in.
There you go.
We know who you are, Mr.
You're the man, baby. You're the man.
What does it mean for you to be here at the 50th anniversary of the class of 1973?
Well, it's awesome that we're all alive. That's the main thing, you know. But it's also to see all the people you spend a lot of time with in your life, you know. And they're all good people. The one's right behind you, right there. Yeah. Was that 1973 or 1873?
Just, I'm glad to see him.
Yeah, it's glad to see him. I haven't seen him forever, you know. He was one of the best at Okemos. One of the best ever, right here. You know. People were always in love with him. He always supported you, you know.
Too good.
My name is Norval Burgett, and I taught business, and I also coached. And it means a great deal to me because for some reason I have found in teaching career that the earlier students that you have are the ones that you remember the most. And I don't know why that is, but I've taught at 3 different schools, Berrien Springs, Howell, and Okemos, and I can tell you the names of a lot of the first-year students at all 3 of those places. And I certainly enjoyed working with the students at Okemos, especially the athletes and the fast typists. Thank you.
I'm Patty Puckett, and I taught social studies. And it's just wonderful to see former students and all the faculty members.
Anything else you want to add on being here for the 50th anniversary of the class of 73?
Thank you for inviting me.
John Berquist.
Mrs. Bowker and Mr. Burgett, you know, are getting ready to take you out to be introduced to the classmates.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you better hustle. Anyway, I taught biology for 32 years, driver ed. Did I have you in driver ed, Joe? No. Okay. Ecology, coached track for a while, then cross country the rest of my time there. And that's about it. Oh, photography and physical science, mainly biology. Yep.
A lot of work, yeah. It won't be too long. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you all made it though. I really appreciate it.
that's okay. Well, thank you for all your work. I know once it starts, it'll be busy, but
Yeah, we need
we
it.
all wanted to thank you because it's tough.
Oh yeah, it's been a wonderful last 2 or 3 days. So it's really
Yeah.
good. Everything's went well. The golf tournament went well today, and pickleball went well yesterday. The cocktail party last night. So
Good.
Terry, what made you come up with the idea to invite all these teachers for your 50th anniversary reunion?
well, you know, this is the 50 year for the class of 73, but it's also the 100-year anniversary of Okemos High, and I thought it would really be nice to bring some of the teachers back for the anniversary and our big event too. So I was glad and able that I found some of them to come. So.
What's the best feeling you get from organizing this event with your wife over here, who's like really relaxing now, but it's going to start?
Well, you know, it's just I just like people, and I've been in contact with a lot of my classmates over the years, and this one though they kind of had to beg me to do it. So, but I did it, and I'm glad it's turned out so far so good. So.
And a big night for the introduction of all your teachers.
Yes, and you know, it's just a great feeling. That's all. And here comes Mr. Norm Burgett. Everybody's coach, Mr. Stan Stoles, and his wife Barb. I think he was everybody's friend at one time. Just everybody enjoyed him. Mr. Ron Mott.
Thank you. Where are you sending me? Thank you.
And wife Carol. Joined on the Okemos staff the year that we graduated, and she's been the chemistry teacher there for 20-some years after that, Mrs. Hatkowitz. This gentleman started about the same year. He was the tennis coach, Mr. Jim Powers. This lady has taken over the breakfast for the teachers. She's been doing this for quite a while now. She was with Okemos High School almost 30 years, Mrs. Patty Puckett. This gentleman was at Okemos High School close to 40 years. Mr. Vern Cobb. This gentleman was one of everybody's favorite teachers, I think, Mr. Scott Purvis. And his wife, Sue. This guy was one of my favorite teachers. He was also the coach of baseball at one time and football, Mr. Larry Cockcroft. This next gentleman is one of the biology teachers and science teachers. I really think a lot of this guy, John Berquist.
Come on, Mr. Berquist. They're announcing you. It's your starring moment. Great day, huh?
Oh, man, yeah.
And he has come all the way tonight for this. Mr. Bill Dean.
Welcome, Mr. Dean.
Bill? Bill, come on up.
Wow. This is something. Barb, I told you that this was really a meeting of the senior citizens HOA. My goodness. You know, before I start any kind of comments, I want to congratulate all of you on making this to your 50th high school reunion. That's really special. And to Terry and the committee, thanks for all the work they did to have this splendid place and all of these accoutrements available. And I also understand that the school district is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. And you know, I'm really quite shocked to be here myself. I wasn't quite sure what I might say, or that I might have something coherent to say to this group. But you know, what does a former high school principal say to a group of folks who 50 years ago were running around in a high school badgering and terrorizing the faculty and staff? I mean, way to go! It turned out just fine. Yeah. You know, your superintendent of schools at that time was Kennels, Dr. Kennels, who has subsequently become a very close friend of Barb and me. And Ken asked me in 1968 to take over the position for one semester, just one semester, as the interim high school principal. I'd been down at Central Elementary School teaching elementary school, having never taught a day of high school. And I know the faculty would say, well, it seemed like it too. But Ken said, you know, just for one semester, hold it together. Did you catch that? Not excellence, not strive for something really cool, just hold it together. And in the same breath, he said, by the way, there are at least 1,000 doors up at that high school. Make sure they're all locked into that school. And also, he said, you're aware that it's a campus. We have walkways from one place to another, but for heaven's sakes, make them take their coats off in the winter when they get to the classroom. You don't remember that, do you? Yeah, smelly wool when it's wet and gets hot. Well, I'm not going to stand up here and say a lot other than I got all these notes, but this doesn't seem appropriate at this time after seeing this group. I feel like we should be out doing something naughty or something 1973-ish. But you taught me a lot on a serious note. I am very, very grateful to having been with you as students and as faculty, because I learned a lot of things about being eventually an administrator. I learned the process and the importance of decision making that hears everybody's voice and involves everybody in the process. And boy, did I learn about ambiguity. And it's an important thing to learn, being tolerant with ambiguity. I learned how to listen. I also learned to listen to people who knew more than I did, because I surely didn't know about high school physics or high school chemistry or the English curriculum. But out of necessity, I learned how to listen and to respect the wisdom of others. I did go on from there to a 43-year career in education. I was a high school principal in Colorado Springs. I was Assistant State Commissioner of Education in Denver with the Colorado Department of Education. I was Assistant Superintendent in Fort Collins. I was Superintendent of Schools in Rapid City, in Grand Haven, and Superintendent of Schools in Frederick County, Virginia. And all of those locations, I felt you. Now that may sound silly, but I felt your presence, the lessons that I had learned from you, and the respect that I had been given from you. And I'll never forget that. And so I thank you for that. And I want to say, too, all of you look as though your travel over the last 50 years has been a significant travel for you. You've learned lots of things from the innovations, from the progress. Unfortunately, some of the disappointments that we've faced during this 50 years that you've been away from high school. But you obviously learned something from the staff and the teachers at Okemos High School that did well for you to be able to be as successful as you have been in those 50 years. Barb and I are delighted to be here. We're humbled to be here. We thank you for inviting us. And one last word that I would say, I got 3 phone calls from Terry, and I'm thinking, yeah, just 3. Maybe some of you got more. He badgered the hell out of me. The first time he called, I said, I'll think about it. I mean, Idaho is a long way away. He said Utah, but it's Idaho. But people get those western states kind of mixed up. So the second time he called me, he said, really, won't you come? I'll think about it. The third time he called, I said, why do you want me? Why do you want me to come out there? His response, you're the only one left.